YouTube back again. You know how it go, car video. Don't ask for nothing else. For now at least. Stick is still in the back and it's expired. But we're gonna keep it moving. What's going on, guys? Just wanted to jump on here today. Give y'all boys a quick reminder of what's going on. So, like every great man does, sometimes we become distracted and we don't lock into our goals, and we start doing things that are counterintuitive to us becoming the best version of ourselves. 1 second, there's a lot of stuff going on. But like I was saying, we develop habits that are counterintuitive to becoming the best version of ourselves. And you know, I'm not perfect, just a man. I myself fell into that trap. You know, doing behaviors that weren't necessarily building me up. Not gonna get into those behaviors, but it's the same type that each man deal with, you know. Lack of motivation. Habits that are counterintuitive to you developing a healthy everyday life. Playing nothing but video games, eating junk food, scrolling on social media apps endlessly, like engaging in brain rot. I fell victim to these things, and I was not locked in, let's say that, for a while. You know, kept on procrastinating on signing back up for school, you know, developing certain skills, doing this, doing that. All these goals I had set out, I was not focused on them. So, one day, it all hit me like a ton of bricks that I realized I was not focused when I saw the date, and it was like the 30th of May, and I was like, damn, half of the year is already gone, and I have not accomplished the goals I set out to this year began. And maybe reflect and look back on all the time I wasted on these meaningless things, all these energy drains. And truthfully, I was really upset at myself, but I didn't beat myself up for it. I just strategized, planned, and moved forward. And that can be hard to do because, you know, we always don't want to correct those behaviors because they feel good in the moment, you know. And our brain comes with all types of coping mechanisms to allow us to continue doing these behaviors. And we know in the back of our mind, in our subconscious, that these are not good, that we need to stop doing these, that we need to lock in and focus on our tasks. That doesn't mean don't have fun, but you need to prioritize doing the things you need to do. And then when you have time left over, or, you know, a day off per se, then you can do the things that you love to do for fun. But even the things you do for fun, they should be constructive in a type of way. Like if you love to get sloppy drunk and, you know, stumble around the bar and downtown, even if you do that 20% of the time, it's still a huge negative impact on your life. When I mean like you develop constructive things that you like to do for fun, like go play some golf, you know, go, not just lifting weights, because that should be a necessity, everyday thing. That's not necessarily something you do just for fun. I'm saying like a fun activity that is constructive at the same time. Some people swim, some people play golf, some people train martial arts, some people paint, some people draw, some people do photography, you know. There's a multitude of things that are constructive that aren't destructive at the same time. And I found myself trying to cope, like, oh, I can keep doing this. I love to go shoot pool and have a few drinks with the guys, and I found myself to where I was prioritizing that over everything else I was supposed to do. And I was like, oh, I already work hard enough, I need to be doing this. And it knocked me off my pivot, and I became distracted because I was locked in on pleasure instead of my purpose at the time. And I'm very grateful for having that insight and the self-awareness to be able to redirect after I realized that I'm off track. And I made this video today just to say that all of these things can sneakily knock you off your pivot, and then you'll look up one day and there'll be so much time passed, and you'll wonder what has happened. And I don't want that same thing to happen to you guys. So I'm saying here, just make sure that you lock in. You know, I know that's a very buzzword term these days. It's being used everywhere. But make sure that you focus on the goals that you have already set. It's very easy to fall into a distraction trap these days. Looking on social media, looking at other people's lives in person, you know. Just lock into your own goals and complete those. I finally completed the goal I set out to do during the beginning of the year, and I felt good when I did it, but at the same time I know I have more work to do. And the pleasure you feel of completing a goal that you set is not even close. It's way better than the temporary pleasure you feel when you're engaging in a vice. Like, you know, getting drunk, shooting pool with the guys, having a few cigars. That felt really fun and that felt really great, you know. I enjoyed doing that. But at the same time, it was painful because I knew in the back of my mind, in my subconscious, I was letting my goals get away and I was engaging in destructive behaviors. It was fun in the moment, but I felt that regret afterwards. And that regret is very painful. It's not even worth the trouble in the initial beginnings of when you start doing these destructive things. Like the euphoric high you feel when you're doing it, it's almost, you can't even enjoy it because you already know the pain and regret is coming afterwards. You know, it's instant gratification at its worst. Like, okay, I'll do these destructive behaviors now because it feels real kind of good, and I'll just hate myself for it later on. It's a nasty cycle, and I feel as if we need to identify it and just cut those things off. They're not good for us. They're not good for us at all. And I myself can speak from experience that I have dealt with that, and I'm thankful to God for showing me that, because in these past few days, as I've, you know, redirected my attention towards the things that I need to be doing and locking in, I've seen such a positive shift that it's insane almost, you know. And it's like, it's almost to the point where he's revealing this plain and clear to me, saying that if you continue on this path, you will be rewarded. Just continue to work hard, you know. That's not saying 24/7, 365, you need to be super duper grinding, because you'll eventually burn yourself out. But at the same time, if you set a goal, work hard towards it, and then at the same time set time aside to rest, recharge, and then get back up and continue on your goal, you'll see such a positive shift, a substantial change, that it almost becomes your new vice in a certain way, because you're receiving that pleasure that you once received from the negative vice. Now that you're locking in on your goals, that positive reinforcement is almost like a compounding interest. Like, okay, I done completed this goal, let me keep going, let me see what else I can complete, let me see what else I can do, let me see what else I can achieve. It's almost like self-improvement becomes your new vice, within a healthy range, of course, because I've already made a video on toxic self-improvement, which is overworking yourself to death, and that's not good, because I mean the end result is an early grave. But self-improvement within a healthy scope is one of the best things that you can do, because not only does it fuel your soul, it also fuels your future. And I'm excited to be back on that path, and moving forward, I want to make sure I stay on this path and stay locked in and focused. And I just wanted to make this video today as a message to those who are in a similar situation, or, you know, a young man who's trying to accomplish things as well. Stay focused, my man. Stay focused. This is a message that I'm saying to myself and those who can relate to it. And yeah, stay focused. Stay focused, my man. Stay focused. That's the best thing you can do for yourself right now, because it's easy to fall into the trap. It's easy to feel as if that you're not working hard enough and you need to grind hard. But it's all a psyop. If you're working hard each day, I don't care if you work at Walmart. If you get up each day, give your job 100% effort, and you're doing things the right way, you're not out here scamming people. You're not out here hurting people. You're not out here taking from people. You're not, you know, like scamming, you're not robbing, you're not killing, you're not doing any of these negative things to get money. If you working hard, you know, you get up, you put your uniform on, and you go out there and you give it your all, it might not be as fast as those that are on it, you know, Instagram and things like that, flexing all of this money, but we know the song and we know the dance. Like, they flash all this money, 6 to 12 months, they disappear. They either done went broke and they don't want to show their real life results now, or they in jail because all of the negativity and all of the strife that they've caused has caught up to them. They're reaping what they've sowed. So if you're a young man out there working hard, grinding, trying to put himself in a good position in the future, continue to do that. Continue to do it. And don't focus on all of these distractions. Like, you know, one of the biggest distractions can be women. Another big one can be, you know, material items. Like, it's okay to have a goal and want to get yourself nice things, but don't make them the idol of your life. Don't make them the sole reason you get up each day, you know, because material things fade. But if your future and want to provide for yourself, if you want to have a family, or if you just want to make life easier on yourself in the future, and you get up, work hard each day, continue to do that. Stay focused. That's pretty much my message that I have for today. As always, if you have any input, you have anything you want to share, or you have a counter argument that you want to make, leave it in the comments, and I'll do my best to address it. Other than that, as always, peace.